Listen to the vibes.
The views and opinions of our guests may not necessarily reflect those of the host or the Vibes Broadcast Network. Listener discretion is advised.
Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Listen to the Vibes. And I'm very, very happy to have Master John Ozuna with me here today. We're going to talk a little bit about this new movie he's in called Demon Fighter and just have a great conversation. So, John, tell us what's going on with the movie.
Well, first of all, buddy, thank you so much for having me on the show.
Of course,
you rock. You are awesome.
Thank you.
Doing, man, the people that you've had on, I just cannot believe it. Legends, buddy. You have had legends on this, and I am absolutely very, very humbled to be here. But yeah,
you.
My goodness, where do I start? One of our films just came out. It's called Demon Fighter, and it's a CRA Entertainment production, whom Craig Ahrens and David Espinosa are the producers, and David Espinosa is the writer and director of this film. The film itself deals around a lot of factors. There's a lot of I don't want to say there's not sub stories, but there's a lot that is a part of this whole story, but essentially it's the character of Father Michael, who I play, is a troubled individual that's had a horrific upbringing that goes through the process of everything from being in juvenile hall to being in prison. Being part of a bad group and having a mother that's a prostitute, and having that lifestyle, and just tearing him down and breaking him apart and exposing him to all these, things that children shouldn't be exposed to, and just living the life of a criminal, and being in prison and meeting the right people of faith, and that helped to turn his life around, and he embrace the priesthood.
Wow.
So and then his life ensues, and he still struggles. I mean, he's a person that still combats his personal demons, along with helping a family deal with their own possessions, their own demons, and he's trying to right the wrong, and just come to kind of a reckoning of his life and life in general. And it's quite a project. It really is. Both David and Craig, and everybody involved, I'm talking everybody, did an amazing job on this project. Have you had a chance to check it out?
I haven't got to see it yet. I want to watch it, but with everything that's going on, it's hard to just sit down and really get into anything, but
Gotcha.
I do have that on my watch list, so I'm going to watch it.
Yeah.
So
I mean, when you have the chance, check it out, buddy. Please do. And it's received a great reception from a lot of the viewers. It's been we've just received a lot of great feedback. You're always anticipating somebody's going to watch it and they'll give us the true constructive criticism, which you want to learn from those things. You want to they say something about the acting, or something about the whatever aspect of the film. You want to take note and kind of go, okay, yeah, we can improve on that and this and the other. But then you get those people that just the trolls just want to say bad things.
You try to do something, and then there's people, I don't know if it's out of jealousy or what it is, but there's just folks that just going to say something mean, no matter if the project's good or if it's not. So
no, you're right. I mean, and for whatever reason, they kind of get off on that stuff, and they get off on the reaction of people like, no, you can't say that, and and it's and and it starts all the and people chime in, and I guess it's a great way for them to spend time. But yeah, we have not because we're expecting constructive criticism, and it's been really positive. It's been really positive. I mean, it's hard not to watch a project like this and kind of go, oh geez, and this is speaking personally, just, oh man, I could deliver that line better. I could have said that better. With the fight scenes, the fight choreography, well, maybe we could have done this, or we could have done that. So there's always that, coulda, woulda, shoulda sort of process that you go through.
Right.
But you know what? I'm really, I'm in awe of what it took to get it to where it is, and it's a entertaining, fun project. But it's pretty intense. Let me tell you, buddy. It's
Yeah.
something that you want to watch with the lights on.
And see, that's what I like about Craig and David. They bring you some of these horror stories without
Yeah.
all the blood and gore and all the extra that you seem to get in a lot
Yeah.
of Hollywood movies. They're able to make a story really like grab your attention without all the bells and whistles. It's
Yeah,
almost like reading a Stephen King book. If you read Stephen King,
yeah,
you don't you get some I mean, he's very descriptive, but
yeah.
you don't get all that blood and gore that you see on TV. It just makes your mind think, you know.
You're right. You're absolutely right, and that definitely is here because it's suspenseful. It moves along really, really well. It causes you to wonder, okay, okay, what's going on with this, and how is this? Where's this leading you to? And but at the same time, there's a sense of realism. So you do, for those that do love the gore-ish or kind of extreme scenes, it's there. But along with it, it's supported by a great story, and it's suspenseful. It just really makes you wonder, where it's going. And I know the story. I know the direction it's going, and I'm here like, okay, where's this going?
So let me ask you, so the part that you're playing, is this kind of a redemption story for this character?
It's like I said, it's kind of it's a reckoning.
Reckoning.
He wants to set things right of things that he knew, that he was a part of, that were bad. And he also knows, and he's conflicted, obviously. He's a tormented soul,
Yeah.
because his past is part of his present, which he addresses in certain ways that you wouldn't expect a priest to. We all have our ideas of the way a priest should be, and and he is definitely not your everyday priest.
I hear you. Well, actually, I wanted to do this interview without watching the movie. I usually watch the movies before I talk about them, but I wanted to approach this with the same curiosity as my audience has. So I want you to give me enough of the story to make me want to watch it, but don't give it away. So
Exactly.
I really want to watch it.
You know what is great? Again, there's a lot of, and it's hard not to be a little bit biased, but all movies with the possession genre, obviously Exorcist was the movie, and all others that came after that are competing with what was already set to be the standard for the way a possession movie should be. And this pays homage to The Exorcist.
Oh, wow.
Oh, it does. It pays homage to The Exorcist without ever exploiting it, or without ever trying to overly borrow from it. Because even the character, even my character is pays homage to, and I forget the name, but the young priest, in The Exorcist, because he was unconventional. I mean, here
Mm,
you see
yeah.
this young priest that, he's working out, he's running on the track, he's hitting the bag, you kind of go, wow, he's a priest, that it's taking that kind of concept to a whole other level in my character, which mine is done more, not recreationally, it's more of how I lived my life before I became a priest, but it's still part of my life. And
Yeah.
it's a skill set that I have. I'm a trained martial artist, but a lot of it was, training on the streets, and fighting to survive, literally fighting to survive.
So have you seen that new movie with Mark Wahlberg where he was like a fighter and then he became a priest? He was,
Not, I know what you're talking about.
oh
Not
my
yet. I
God.
haven't seen that one yet.
If you haven't seen it, you need to see it.
Wow.
Now, if I have one criticism about that movie and movies that are similar to it that have,
Mhm,
priests or
mhm.
preachers, some kind of religious figure, the one thing that really bothers me is when they cuss. I can't stand that.
Yeah, yeah. No, no, I hear you. Now I'm trying to think back. I believe my character. No, no. You will not see my character do that. And
Thank you.
you're welcome.
I mean, I will watch the movie, but it bothers me. It
No, no,
really
I hear you.
does.
I hear you. I
Anytime
hear
you
you.
see these religious figures that are either cussing or they're sleeping around or
Yeah,
they're
yeah,
smoking, drinking, all this stuff,
yeah.
and I'm like, you're supposed to be trying to live as godly as possible, so you shouldn't be
Exactly.
doing that.
No, no, and I hear you. And that's what makes this so unique, because it's a story around somebody who turned their life around but still struggles with temptation. And when I say temptation, not in so much in what people will immediately go to, but just temptation of just being a human being. But at the same time, he is so absolutely damaged
Yeah.
by the life he has led already up to that point, but just so wants to make things right, if not so much for himself, for those around him, because he that's when he flips the switch, and he his actions are for helping other people, and and the most, and he bows down to other religious father figures for him, so he immediately will go to somebody saying, I need your help. I can't do this without you. I know enough, but not enough. And I need, so he is humble enough to do those things. And that's you see so much of a range of somebody in kind of a helpless situation, trying to seek help at the same time trying to help other people. So that's one of the cool things about it too.
Yeah, one thing I could say about David and Craig, and I hope they don't take offense to this, but their movies, I could tell the progression from the first one that I've watched
Oh,
from them, and then the next one, and how it's like when I draw a picture, that first one it'll look good, but
yeah.
then I'll look and I'll say, oh well, this could have been different, this could be fixed. So I do it again, and then it looks better. But then the next one, I'm really starting to get it down, and I'm starting to make it look really good. So I'm hoping they're continuing that trend, because I mean they've got some great ideas. They do some great
Yeah,
stuff. I'm impressed for independent filmmakers. They do a really good job, and
yeah.
the actors that they get, man, there's I don't know why they're not in more mainstream pictures, because I think they're that good.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right, buddy. You know, uh, to your point, anybody that I mean, in anything that we do, every time we do that next opportunity, we have another next opportunity to do that next thing. We should come in more learned, more equipped, learning from everything that we did the previous time, bringing over all the good stuff, but learning from all the stuff that and me personally, all the things that I felt that I should have done better. You learn from it and you take it on to that next project. And for them, when I was a kid, my first language is not English. Actually, my first language is Spanish. And I'm from California. I was born in California, but that was my environment. So I used to say, "Oh, that's good," but I used to say, "Okay, that's gooder," and I used to say, "That's goodest." So I would always say good, gooder, and goodest. So and I still kind of use that right now. And that's them. They go from good, gooder, and goodest to always trying to outdo themselves simply by learning from what they did previously.
Yeah.
And correcting mistakes, just doing things differently, better, to tighten things up. And I believe they really hit a home run with this project. They really did.
I can't wait to watch it then.
Yeah.
I like them guys, and I like the way that they approach making the movies.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've talked to them in the past about some of the stuff they do, and although I guess I'm not as learned, I don't pick up on some of the messages. They tell me there's messages in there, but I just like it for the entertainment factor.
Yeah.
That's what I'm looking for.
You're right. I mean, it's got, and that's one of the, a film, and this is, David Espinosa, because he is also my acting coach. And and I've had other acting coaches. He's the best by far. So you talk about the talent pool in this, and I'm so fortunate to have worked with such phenomenal talent. In Jeannie Young and Jeff Hatch and Rob and the lead young lady, Anastasia. These guys are so freaking talented, and I'm just, when they're doing a scene, I'm taking notes. I'm not waiting for them to finish. I'm taking notes of how they're approaching it, how they do a scene, how they prep for it. But that's really all, David, because he goes through a very scrutinized audition process, and every person that's on there auditioned hard to get there. And even personally myself, I auditioned 3 times.
Wow.
And to get the part of Father Michael, and he gave me probably, to audition, he gave me the toughest scene, which was like about an 8-minute long monologue. So it was an 8-minute long monologue for me to audition for.
He made you work
Father
for
Michael. Oh, he made me work for that. Oh my goodness. Wow. But I appreciate that, because nothing's given, everything is earned in the CRA entertainment world. And it brings out the best in you. You learn from it, and whatever was bottled up inside, you let it out. Just acting in general is just being genuine. It's being genuine in the situation. You ask yourself a number of different questions. Why are you there? What are you trying to get out of the situation? What is your character's association with the people that you're talking to? Are they a stranger? Are they a friend? Are they a family member? Or are they loved? Are they your true love? Who are they to you? Because that's how you'll deliver the scene,
Right.
And these are all things that David was, so wonderful to share with me. And this is what he expected from his actors. He expected for them to deliver, and we did, and there's sometimes we didn't. So and he let us know, okay, we need to go this direction instead of that direction. But that's what a director does. That's their job.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, everybody on that project was my goodness, earned. And you know, yeah, you know, it's I'm just proud to be part of that cast.
Oh, Jeff Hatch, he's a character, isn't he?
Jeff, man, he's a walking, talking monologue. he he just pulls things out of nowhere, you know, and he tells he tells kind of long jokes, and he's the sort of person that will play the two different characters of the jokes, and you know, he does a, you know, my first language is Spanish, but his Spanish accent is better than mine. he's, he's got this great Spanish accent that he does, and he is a character. You know, he comes out with stuff like that. Whoa, where did that come from?
Oh
You
yeah.
you know, it's like you get some of these guys that they're just on, and you know, it's not just acting. You know, he can impersonate and he can sing, and you know, I think our talent pool. Um, we had some amazing classically trained actors that had a lot of theatrical experience, and that was my beginning. My beginning was actually theater versus film or TV. So that was a little bit more my background. Where you project, your hands are moving around, because you know, you don't speak to the person, you speak to the audience. You know, you're out there, you know, projecting this way, and to go from that being overtly exaggerating your movements to the subtleties of delivering a scene with uh, just a gesture, or your eyes, or how you breathe. To go from one extreme to the other, it was just a learning curve for me, but a huge learning curve.
Wow. And going back to Jeff, I'm kind of biased because he was on. I know he's on there for only a brief second, but he was on one of my favorite shows of all time, The Office. So
Yeah. Hey, it doesn't matter. He was there.
he
He was
was
there.
there. That's all.
Yeah.
I would have been on cloud nine doing what he did.
Yeah. He was there. No, man. They've had some. They they've done some stuff. You know, they've had great opportunities, and um, you know, again, it just, to me, it amazes me the level of talent,
Oh yeah.
and you know, to really make it in this industry, it requires so much. It requires talent. It requires look. It requires that, you know, the je ne sais quoi, that something that we can't put our finger on it. That's, you either have it or you don't have it. Um, and it and luck, being at the right place at the right time, speaking to the right people. You know, just the timing of that. It just, all the stars need to be aligned in order for you to be in a position where you can make a living doing this.
Well, see,
So yeah.
like Jeff, I don't know why Jeff is not on television with his own show. And he could
Yeah.
do a drama or he could do a comedy.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. He should be there. There was I feel bad because I can't think of their names off the top of my head, but there was a few others that I interviewed from some of the Craig and David's earlier films that
Yeah.
I'm like, these people should be stars.
Yeah.
They
Yeah. You're
should
right.
be big stars, you know. And
Yeah.
when people go and they see these performances, they're going to think, yeah, when they in such movie, or because they're that good.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're that
Yeah.
good.
You're right. You're right. You're right. You know, and it's you know, our community. We've got a great community over here in California. But you know, it's funny because it's also saturated,
Yeah.
because you have, I don't know, everybody comes to California to make it, and so it just increases the talent pool, and that pool gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And you know, I live in the Northern California, so I live in San Jose, with the Bay Area,
Mhm.
and I've even had my agent and my manager say, hey, move to Hollywood, you know, just move there and just audition, and that would be the worst idea for me,
I think it
because
would.
I walk in there, and you're just among just a lot of beautiful people, that are also very talented, and you just get lost in that pool, so you don't stand out in any way, and to be just thrown in there would be, I would drown. I would absolutely drown, you know. But to be kind of on the outside and just going in whenever needed, then I'd rather do that.
Well, to be honest with you, John, with your personality and
Thank you.
you, I don't think that you would be able to do what those other people do, because they're more cutthroat. They don't seem to have a care for other people. Like, I mean, you care about people. I can see that
I do.
when you're doing your martial arts and you're working with those kids, and I can see it in your eyes how much you care about them. And I don't think you have the personality to be, pardon my French, a jackass to do some of that stuff. And I have to be honest with this too, from the people that I talk to, the the different videos that I watch on YouTube, and the community that I'm a part of. People have fallen out of love with Hollywood.
Oh, absolutely. No, you're right.
Um,
You're right. It's in a lot of ways, it's tainted, and it's tainted for a lot of reasons. Um, but for myself, I have a love of martial arts. I've been doing it for over 40 years. I have a love of people, and me working with my students it's an investment in the future.
exactly.
It really is. And it sounds kind of cliche to say it, but they are our future. And the more time I can invest in them, the more equipped they are, the more they can be exposed to humility and modesty and drive and determination and those things, the better the world will be.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
The better the world will be. And you're right. I'm not cutthroat, or I'm not going to step on people in order to elevate
Exactly.
myself. I will not do that. But I'm a fighter too.
Yeah.
So, and I've got a fighter's mentality. So and whenever I fought so many years of my life, so my thing is, okay, great, bravo, good job. Now it's my turn.
Hmm.
Okay, let's get moving on this. And that every project, that's the way I approach it. I approach it in a fighter's mentality, a world level athlete mentality. Every time I go into a project, for me, it's like getting ready for the Olympics. No
Mm.
different. Same mindset, same thought process, and also same pursuit, same actions.
Yeah.
So every time I prepare for a role, it's like me preparing to fight all over again, just like I did back in the day.
Oh yeah. Oh, I totally get that. You have what it takes as as far as the talent part goes. Just you're not the jerk that some of the other people can be.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
I, I've talked to several people that have been in the business, and they see how things have changed. And I don't want to get deep into that, because that's just
Yeah,
negative stuff we don't need to get
yeah,
into.
yeah,
But
yeah.
they the way they talk to me, the way they talk to the fans, the way they think about their fans, is they really appreciate that, every one of them. And I see, and once again, I don't want to get too in depth in this, but when somebody criticizes something that's in a movie, and it's a legit criticism,
Yeah,
they get told, well, you don't like it, don't watch it, or they just insult the fans,
yeah,
and that's turning
yeah,
people off.
yeah,
And we want to be entertained. That's all we want, is entertainment. So
yeah.
if that's what I'm going to get when I go see Demon Fighter, that makes me want to go see it.
Exactly. And that's, I mean, essentially that's it right there. If you can produce emotions, doesn't matter what kind of emotions within the person, within the viewer of what they're watching, then you did it. And those emotions, it's going to be different for every single person. But if you can produce it, whether it be whatever the range is, everything from sorrow to anger to happiness to lateness to whatever, then you did the job. You did your job, because that was the intention of it.
That's what I'm looking for.
It's to capture it, and for but it's a business.
Yeah.
It is a business, and I've had my school for over 30 years. So in other words, I've been in business for myself for over 30 years. So I know the business pursuit of the entertainment industry, and it's got to be entertaining. So yes, you may want to go ahead and deliver a message. Yes, you may want to, produce your version of art, on the screen, and fantastic. But is it entertaining enough to be financially viable? Because when it comes down to it, it's a product that needs to be sold. You need a customer to hit the rent or buy button. That's what it comes down to. How do you do that? The poster. How does the poster look? Is it captivating? Does it draw you in? Is there something in it that pulls you in? The trailer. Did it produce feelings within yourself to go, yeah, I want to see this film? Is it, so it's got to be financially viable, so that a distributor can believe in it and invest in it, and so that people can just hit the rent or buy button. It has to be. It's got to be entertaining. You don't want to waste you don't want to say, after 90 minutes, geez, that was a waste of my time. And we've all been there.
Oh yeah.
We've all been there.
If I'm gonna get a message out of a movie, I want it to be a positive one,
Yeah.
So that's another thing I look for. If I'm gonna get a message, please make it on a positive note. We have been bombarded with so much negativity, and I have to stop myself from doing it too. I start to get off on that, and I don't want to go that direction. I want things to be, I want it to be positive. That's the only word I can think of at the moment. I want it to be positive. And I try to surround myself with positive people. And of course, you're definitely one of those people.
I appreciate that, buddy. I do know you're right. And it's a choice. There's certain events that in our life that we can never change, and they may not have had anything to do with us. There are things that happened that were way beyond our control, that but affected us directly. Now and some of it could be our fault. Some of it could be like just something I did, something, whatever. But the down the road, we can, even though we cannot change the events, we can change how we feel about those. Yeah, you can. And what's great about that is we're in control of that.
Yep.
We control that. We can't control the situation, but we can control ourselves. And if we can either choose to live a happier life or just be miserable for the rest of our life, and some people just they gravitate to that. And I think as human beings, we all gravitate towards fear, and which means the fear of our future, the fear of that next interview that I've got with Kyle.
I try to be kind.
Which causes us, to feel anxious, and now we have anxiety, and let me share with you. I'm not sure we last time was on. Growing up, I had debilitating anxiety. Debilitating. And at a time before we knew it was anxiety, it was a time, before that keyword came out.
Mm-hmm.
So anybody that is anxious, anybody that's triggered by this, out of the other, and it starts to lose self-control, and that's a big part of, but it's all fear-based. It's all centered around fear, the fear of this, out of the other, and you fill in that blank. For me, I was a victim of those extreme feelings. So I have empathy for people that go through this, but also I addressed it, and my choice was actually through martial arts. Was actually putting me in positions where the worst fears were being realized, but I had to address them and face them and arrive to some kind of solution to those. And so it comes down to, do I want to enjoy my life, or do I want to be miserable? And I'm choosing to just enjoy. Yeah, we all have daily, things that come up, and of course they're going to come up. That's life. Life is a mixed bag, but we do have the gift of life to live it, to enjoy it, to experience it, to learn from it, and wow, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I totally appreciate it. Just you and I, we've had some, offline conversations. We have some, conversations in the last interview that we did. We've all gone through some stuff, and we've lost loved ones in very harsh circumstances. So you can either learn from those situations and appreciate life, or blame life, and blame everybody around you for it. And I choose not to do that.
Amen to that. One of the reoccurring themes in the Bible is fear not.
Yeah.
And we need to take that to heart. And another thing that I want to stress to anyone that may be listening to this or watching this, it's not whether you succeed or you fail, it's whether you try. At least get out there and do your best. I mean, if you want to be a football star, go train, you go try. And if you don't make it, at least you attempted it. That's only thing that we're looking for, is that you're at least tried. Who knows? You might be the next Roger Staubach or Joe Montana, or
wow, I haven't heard the name Roger Staubach before. Tony Dorsett.
Tony D. I've actually met Tony Dorsett. Great guy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
In a shoe store.
Yeah. Wow, that's too cool. Boring California, but we're my family's from Texas, so my brother, parents, grandparents, so we're still Dallas Cowboy fans.
They see that's why I allow you to come back on the show.
Hey, I'm wearing the Dallas blue right now.
Hey, amen to that.
Yeah. So but it's fear. Fear is what either stops us shy of greatness. It stops us in our tracks, shy of absolute greatness, and fear is never a good enough reason not to pursue, your dreams. But that's the thing. We all dream, we all fantasize, we all imprint ourselves as the heroes that we look up to, that we want to be. We all have done that. We all continue to do that, and we should never stop doing that. But if we want to be that, be willing to do the work required.
Yes.
You gotta put in the time, the effort, and you gotta be ready to fall down flat in your face. You gotta be ready to be told that you're not good enough. You're not good enough. And during this process of this industry, I've been told, get out of this, quit. You'll never make it. You'll never go nowhere. You're not. You want to do what? You got to be kidding.
Yeah. And how many movies have you been in lately? I mean, you were what in the Venom movie with John Wick
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Matrix and
So Matrix 4 with Keanu Reeves had some great scenes with Keanu Reeves. Venom 1, Venom 2, with Tom Hardy, Woody Harrelson in Venom 2. So I mean, I had the great privilege of working with these, obviously really, really well-known people, and uh, and same thing, you're there to do the best job that you can because that's what you're hired for. Um, but I'm there to learn, and I watch these guys, and I watch, the very well-known actors, like Woody Harrelson. This guy's been in everything. It depends on the generation, of how we know who Woody Harrelson is.
Woody from
So
Cheers.
yeah, exactly. That's exactly right. So we go back. Oh yeah, he was in Cheers, and you're gonna get people to go, what? Cheers? What is that?
Hey, Norm.
So, yeah, exactly right. So that's
Showing
my
my age.
generation, you know, and but you ask different generations, and they'll pick out different movies of what they feel like he's known for, and but it goes, it, you know, it it goes to how successful he is and the longevity he's had in the industry, because different people, different generations know for many different things, and they've all been really, really big movies. So yeah,
I interviewed JJ French, who was the guitar player for Twisted Sister. And
yeah,
how many times did he get so close, but something happened that they didn't make it, and they just kept trying and kept trying and kept trying, and finally they got
yeah,
their break.
yeah,
I mean, they could have given up, but then we
yeah.
wouldn't have "We're Not Gonna Take It."
Exactly right.
So,
Exactly right.
that I've heard that story several times. That it's like you said, no, get out of here. You're not
Yeah,
worth it. And then boom. I mean,
yeah,
Joan Jett's a good example. How many times
yep.
was she told no, and she was never going to make it, and she's a
Oh,
huge star.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, Joan Jett. I mean, oh, you're getting a lot of '80s stuff right now, which is cool.
That's all I
That's
know.
good.
60s, 70s, and 80s. That's all I know.
I love that. I love those times. They bring me back. But no, I mean, you're really hitting to uh, i- these people that we know, and that have been hugely successful and hugely influential
Mm,
also, because they were the ones that paved the way for the next generations of them. Um, they were told, no, you're not good enough countless times. It just, through my martial arts, and my martial arts teacher always taught me, we win when we lose, but only if we learn. And the learning part is the choice that
that's
we
right.
make.
That's right.
So that's, we either choose to learn from something, or we just stay stagnant. And I know for me, for myself, and again, I've had the great privilege of being, part of so many wonderful projects, and the great fortune of having the principal role in the last 4 films that I've made. uh I know in order for me to go from there to here, I got to work my butt off.
Oh, yeah.
I can't continue doing the same thing that I did, because it'll only get me to where I'm at, if not less.
Oh, you're going to get there.
Uh,
You're going to get there.
so I've got to continue educating myself. I've got to continue working my butt off. I've got to continue to, you know, to be, a part of communities that I will learn from, and that will elevate my ability to go to that next level. So absolutely, I'm a student of this. I'm a student of the arts, the way we're all students of life. We'll learn until our last breath, and we'll experience something brand new until our last breath. And so we're all students. We're students of life.
Well, anybody out there, if you are looking to be successful, and it doesn't matter if you become a big star, it really doesn't. It's how you live this life. You have to be responsible for yourself.
Good. Yeah.
You have anything that you have that you feel, you have to validate that. You don't need others to do that for you.
Absolutely.
You go out and you learn everything you can. You try your best, be a good person. And one bit of advice that I got from someone that he said, you know how you become successful? And, me, I'm eager. I want to be successful. He says, give stuff away for free. Like, what? And his story was there was a website that people could go to, and if they needed some kind of service for free, that they could get it through this website. And it's nothing dirty, so people get dirty stuff out of your mind. He offered up he's an architect, and he said he offered up to or to make plans for whatever it is you needed. He would do it for free, no questions asked. You just tell him what you needed, and he got it for you. And if you know anything about architecture and doing all those drawings, that's a lot of detail and a lot of time.
Absolutely,
a lot of time.
Absolutely.
And he did this for someone, and it led to somebody saw that and gave him an opportunity to make something bigger. The dude's making multi-million-dollar deals right now. Wow. All because he gave something away for nothing.
Exactly.
Even if it's just your time.
Yeah. And that's, probably the most precious commodity that we can give somebody else is our personal time. Exactly. That's the most precious commodity. And boy, anything that I can do to help somebody else, provide a guidance, information, specific details. Okay, do this, don't do this, and I'm more than willing to do that for anybody that wants to pursue anything that they've dreamt about doing all their lives. I'm willing to do those sort of things. And to your point, sometimes you got to say, okay, boom, 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 boom. Let me show you this. Boom, bam. Okay, that one's free. The next, it's you have to show it. You have to present it. You can't just simply proclaim yourself to be what you want others to see you as. You have to demonstrate those things. We live in a culture of you make it till you fake it till you make it, or people just self-proclaim. They just say, you know what? They wake up one morning, they're looking at themselves in the mirror, they go, you know what? I'm a star. Nobody can tell me different. I've got X amount of followers. People are waiting for our next post. Everybody loves me. I'm a star. So from this point on, people are going to have to treat me like a star. Yeah, and they take that route, and it's just so, it's so self-absorbed. It's so unrealistic. It's so disillusioned.
You have to be humble.
Yeah, you have to be. You got to be a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be a lot of things, because you have to get down there and fight when you need to fight. You gotta press, you gotta prove, you gotta go out there and with conviction, determination, and intensity, boom, you gotta just show it. But then you gotta appreciate opportunities, and you gotta treat everybody with respect, with kindness and respect, so that you can receive the same back. And so it's always going to be a little bit of a mixed bag, but it's something that was kind of, my parents have always didn't tell me, they showed me. how to treat
That's
other
another thing.
people.
Yeah. Lead by
They showed
example.
me. Yeah, they showed me. I
Hmm.
saw how they interacted with people. I saw how they interacted with strangers and family members, and always kindness and respect, love.
That's right.
They just showed it, and that was the example I had, and that's something that I always wish to always be.
One thing I've learned is if you demand respect from other people, you're never going to get it.
Oh no, no,
It's
no,
one of those
yeah,
things. I try to be courteous to everyone, and I try
yeah,
to be respectful to everyone.
yeah,
It's yes sir, no sir, yes ma'am, no ma'am. I open
yeah,
doors for people. It's just that's the way I was raised. That's
yeah,
kind of part of the Southern culture is you try to
yeah,
be
yeah.
as a gentleman as you possibly can be, or
Ab-
a lady. And
Absolutely, absolutely.
if you come in with this attitude of, oh, you're going to give me respect no matter what, then the heck with you. You're not going to get it
Yeah,
from me.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I can't say how many times I've been in situations where somebody will go, "Do you know who I am?" I mean, they'll say that, and I go, "My name is John. Nice to meet you. I don't know who you are." You know, it's and they get insulted. And I go, well, maybe I'm just naive, but let's
Think
start
about
this
it.
out.
Think about it,
You know,
John. I mean, you put your pants on one leg at a time, just like I do. And just because more people know you than know me, does that really make you a better person than I am?
oh my goodness, wow. Yeah, it does.
Well, then I guess that's it. I
No,
mean,
no, man.
you know,
Yeah,
I'm the low man on the totem pole when it comes to the YouTube world. Okay, but
yeah.
there's people that are just getting started and they look at me and they want to get to my point, and it's taken me 2 years. I know there's people that are a lot further along than I am. They're a lot more popular than I am. My genre is not exactly the most popular in the world, but that's okay.
Mhm.
Um, but I appreciate where I'm at. I'm I'm very humble because I don't see myself the way other people see me. When I hear comments, it's hard for me to take comments because I don't know I still have a hard time being respectful to myself.
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I am very humbled and I want to stay that way. I don't if I get to be famous one day, that's great. So a lot of people know who I am. That's awesome, but does what does that really mean? I mean, just more people know who
Yeah.
I am. That's all it is, right?
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right, brother. But it's you're passionate about what you're doing.
Oh,
You
very
know that
much.
you have there's something that drives you to do this all the time, and uh and the growth you've had in the short period of time, considerably, relatively short period of time compared to others that have been doing this 10 years, 15 years, and it's still they're still not there yet. But you have pursued it in a way where you let people be themselves. um, you're very inviting. You discuss topics that might be tough to discuss, but it's real topics about real people that live their lives. um, but they made it on the other side of this, where they learned from whatever they were going through. um, Last time I was on the show, you had a great guest, and I apologize for getting the name. But it was a gentleman that he was gone through the prison system, and
Hmm.
but he learned, and he's somebody that you can learn from, because
Yes.
he has walked uh you know a certain in a certain way that a lot of us have never experienced or ever will experience. So we just got to learn.
Hmm.
What I've learned is the difference between somebody that's extremely intelligent and somebody who is brilliant. Somebody who's extremely intelligent has to validate their level of intelligence. They've got to not share it, but prove to others, I'm smarter, you're not as smart as me. Let me show you how much I know, but to support it, let me make sure that you understand that I'm right and you're wrong. And it's because I'm, so it becomes a bit of a debate, this, that, and the other. Some very intelligent people will have to validate the fact that they're intelligent people. People that are brilliant, off the charts. I'm talking off the charts, savant brilliant. They're willing to learn from anybody and everybody. Yeah. They're out there with their notebooks and they go, oh really? Okay, wow, that's interesting, and they're willing just to absorb and learn and continue to learn. Those are people that are brilliant, and they don't underestimate anybody. I have one of my former students, a student I had taught for quite some time, and he became one of my instructors, a Dr. Kaufman. His name was Dr. Kaufman, and scientist out of IBM Research Center, and
oh wow,
and so he's the most humble person that you will ever meet in your life. Humble, shares his knowledge with other people, but willing just to learn. So I was over at his home one day, and again, he's my student, and so he goes, oh, Master Ozuna, could you please excuse me? I need to take a phone call. I said, oh, by all means, please do. So he pulls out this weird satellite phone. It just kind of pulls out this big satellite phone, and I'm thinking, wow, I've seen that back in the day before. And then he's on the phone, and just out of curiosity, I said, who are you talking to? Oh, the space station. I have a friend in the space station. So exactly
what?
Exactly what?
That's crazy.
So he's on the phone with a fellow scientist in the space station, but he could only call at a certain time, because of
rotations and all.
Rotation, exactly right, and then where the satellites are and stuff. So he had to do it right there and then. So I'm going, wow. I said, tell him I said hello. So he's out there saying, per his allowability, he's the only person that could be on the phone. So, but just people like that, they're unassuming. You would never know, and all of a sudden, bam, something just like crazy, happens, and I just appreciate that. And humble as can be, just the nicest guy in the world, but wow, the wow factors.
My wife, her cousin is Troy Landry, and if you ever watch Swamp People, he's on that show.
Wow, but, are you serious?
Oh yeah,
I love Swamp People.
So get this, we got invited to another cousin of hers wedding there in Louisiana, and anyway, it's funny because they both have the same name, and I'm like, oh, Troy Landry, really? He's like, yeah. So we're gonna go. My wife's like, don't tell the kids. We want them to be surprised because they didn't never believe that they were related, right? So we're there at the wedding, and sure enough, he comes in walking in the door. I've got my nicest suit on, and all slick to the nines, the whole thing. He comes in, regular pair of like Wrangler jeans, and looked like a polo shirt you pick up from Target or something, and the only thing fancy he's wearing is the alligator skin boots. Everything else, it looks like just the regular Joe that he's coming down the street. So I talked to him while at the reception, and the guy is so humble. You wouldn't even know the guy was rich,
Yeah, exactly.
He's just he doesn't talk like it. He doesn't act like he's rich. He wants to be part of the group. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm like, that's the way I want to be. If I ever get to be big, I want to be like that. And then everybody gravitates to him.
But you are getting there. you're there, buddy. You're there. Look at the people that you've interviewed.
No, John
My good,
Asuna.
my good. No, I was gonna say you're doing great. Then you interviewed me. You took a plunge. You
Uh,
took a little plunge there.
no, you're an awesome guy, man. You're an
You're
awesome
great,
guy.
brother. You're great, brother. But that's a great story. Man. No, I just you appreciate people, and you basically just kind of say, okay, I want to be like that. That's how I would like to be, and there would be no change in you, brother. There would be no change. I know that for a fact.
Oh,
Just you could be on the biggest show, on the internet, and you'd be the same person. But this is the funny thing. So we all have critics, and we all have people that you know will test us.
oh yeah.
And I have somebody that just really closely scrutinized me, kind of go, okay, so what do you think about this? And I'll say, this out of the other. Oh, so you have changed. I thought you said you were never going to change. Yeah, and I'm thinking, you have to change.
It's changed
By
somewhat.
change, we have to evolve. That's what we have to
There,
do.
there you go. Evolve. Not so much
Yeah,
change.
yeah,
It's
exactly.
evolve. Yeah.
It's
I get
evolve.
it.
We have to evolve, because if we don't evolve personally, we'll never get those opportunities to do what we want to do. So we have to evolve as individuals. Does it mean change in the way that I, people I choose to talk to versus not choose to talk to? My goodness, wow. Um, what I've noticed, if at all, is people have changed around me a little bit. And they've changed the way they interact with me, and sometimes not in the most positive way. So if anybody has changed, it's like they've changed. And I have a good friend that I had to bring that up to him. I said, buddy, come on, what's going on here? Well, you're doing this, that, and the other. I said, buddy, hey, we're still friends, right? He goes, well,
Yeah.
yeah, well, you're doing this, that, and the other now. I said, well, I'm doing a job. What I do is a job.
Mhm.
It's no different than any contractor. You bid for the job, hopefully you get it, and then you're hired to 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 do your area of specialty in their project. So you're building a house. You got roofers, you got people that do that lay down the foundation. You have different people doing different things, and you're there to do the best job that you can. And
That's
hopefully
right.
that you do a good enough job that somebody else will hire you to do that same job somewhere else.
That's
That's
right.
all. That's all we're doing. And I take it in that exact way. That I'm there to do a job. Hopefully, I knock it out of the park, and hopefully, they'll want to rehire me.
Mhm. Well, use Gary Coleman as an example. And I
Mm,
don't know why
yeah,
he popped in my head, but here's a guy that was on television, like the most popular show on TV at that time, making lots of money on top of the world. I think he made a few movies, and this
yeah,
guy was it. And then before he passed away, he was a security guard. So you can
yes,
go from on top of the world to you know, nothing wrong with being a security guard. Don't get me wrong.
exactly,
I was a
exactly,
security guard
exactly.
too, but I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah,
from here to here,
yeah.
happen, man. And I think your attitude is going to determine whether you're going to have people stick with you or going to throw you
Yeah,
away like yesterday's news.
yeah, exactly, exactly. Particularly in this business, because it's a here today, gone tomorrow sort of situation. It really is. You've got to be relevant. And you just go out there. You do the best that you can do. Some people are going to like you. Some people are going to hate you. Some people don't even care. Whatever. It doesn't really matter.
Hmm.
So you're always gonna have like three different perspectives. And as long as I have the opportunity just to continue to work in an area that I love doing. I love being involved with this industry. in the way that I am. I mean, my goodness, I'd be, a pretty happy guy. Mhm.
Mm. I would love to be. This is where I have to say I'm kind of, I guess you say, selfish. Is that I want to be that guy who can say, well, that person was on my show and now they're successful and I helped them get there.
Yes.
That's where I'm kind of arrogant, I guess.
Well, that's you, but no, I don't see it as arrogant at all. I see it as serving a purpose, because in this industry, we all have to help one another out. We all do. We have to help one out to get the word out that there's a potential project coming up, or work that we've done in the past, and the body work that we've done. We have to, um, if somebody like, Chong of Cheech and Chong, which you interviewed, which that's where I'm like totally, totally starstruck by you, buddy. Is, you know, that you have these iconic people as your guests on your show, that want to be on your show. My goodness. Wow. I mean, that speaks volumes. That speaks volumes right there. And if and all the different people that you've had on your show that want to be on your show um, because of what you laid out, how you do this, and how you make them feel in the process, during the interview process, how you make them feel. Because if you treat somebody like crap, or start taking an opposing view and saying, well, hey, this, that, or the other, they're not going to want to ever come back.
Yeah.
They're not going to. Yeah, you just, it make for a good show. Like conflict and stuff.
Well,
But
I just think if you treat somebody like you would want to be treated, and if so, I do have actors, musicians on the show, and people already know that. They know what they're popular for. But when you get down to what's underneath all that, we'll take Rudy Sarzo, for example. I
yeah,
mean,
yeah.
okay, yeah, he was in Quiet Riot, he was in White Snake, he played with Ozzy Osbourne, but
Wow.
how many people got to hear the story of how his family came here from Cuba, and the things they
Wow.
went through to become citizens of the United States, and you know
Exactly.
how I think it might have been him or somebody else was telling me that, he just tied some strings to an old broom or something and pretended to play guitar, and
Wow.
I don't remember if it was
Wow.
him or somebody else told me that story, so don't hold me to it. But
Wow.
I mean, those are things you don't normally hear. I mean,
No.
you know, somebody had told me, well, yeah, I'd like to know about, him being in Quiet Riot and all. Well, then you find any other interview, and I guarantee you'll hear all about it in that interview. I want to
Yeah.
know stuff that people don't normally hear and stuff they'd rather talk about.
Yeah. But that really says a lot about you, because you provide a safe environment for them to do that, so they can open up a little bit, because these guys have been around, and they know that people want to take advantage, um, of the time that they have, and maybe, and they kind of exploit them a little bit on the set. I mean, they're known for the body work that they've done, and it's reached out a lot, millions of people. But you know, some people have an ulterior motive in how they, conduct an interview. You make it easy for somebody to say, you know what, I had this happen when I was young, and it changed my life. It changed how I saw the world, and the people in it. And at the end of the interview, I'm sure they're saying, wow, I'm surprised that came out of my mouth.
I actually
I'm so
had somebody tell
Yeah.
me I was the first person to make them cry on an interview.
Wow. Wow.
And
That's huge.
I was like, you know,
That's huge.
I mean, I always ask my guests, is there something you'd rather not talk about? Because I'm not a gotcha person. I
Yeah.
know that a lot of people, they become famous because they get all those, unexpected gotcha type
Yeah.
questions or something controversial. I'm
Yeah.
not into that, man. I want to hear the positive stories out of your life.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if you treat somebody like that, then they're more apt to say, you know what, I come on another time, and you might hear something that you didn't ask them, you know.
Yeah.
Um, I've had different people, and I'm tooting my own horn here a little bit, but
No, no, no.
here's my phone number, let's keep in touch. I mean, I Jeff Cotton from Captain Beefheart. We
Wow.
had such a great conversation that he didn't give me his number, but he's like, I want to stay in touch. And about a day or two later, somebody that works with him messaged me and say, "How I want him to be on your show too." He was telling me how great it was. And wow, you know,
Yeah. Absolutely. No, absolutely. I mean, that's it right there. When you do that, because these guys have been interviewed before. This is not their first rodeo.
Mm,
So they've been interviewed countless times throughout their life at different points in their life. Um, and for them to go ahead and select, they could be interviewed by so many,
easily.
uh, yeah, outlets and individual shows, and but they chose yours. They chose yours, and that that says something like that. That speaks
That's what
volumes.
makes me feel special.
Yeah,
That,
absolutely.
and when I get a message from someone that says, "Thank you, I needed to hear that message," that your guest, was they answered something that I'd been asking myself for a long time, or every once in a while I get those, and that means everything in the world to me. That was my whole point for doing my show the way I do it,
Yeah.
is to help someone. And you know what,
Yeah.
even those ones that call me names, and I had somebody, uh I can't say the word, but basically I did oral to a male chicken, I guess you'd say. I don't know how else to.
Oh, that's so cool.
And some people would get pissed off. I laughed. I thought that's freaking awesome. Somebody's
Exactly.
cutting me down. I'm doing something right, you know.
No, you're right though. You're right. But like you said, it's when people do become successful, it's a reminder to others of where they're not, but where they would like to be.
You can get
And
there. You can.
yeah, but that's the thing. Exactly. You can get there. Just do educate yourself, do the work, learn from the experience, but do something about it. Don't point fingers at other people saying, you know,
Yeah, you can't go
yeah, yeah,
around blaming other people for
no, you
your
can't do that.
failures.
Yeah,
Your attitude is what's going to determine how far you get. And like I said, even if you don't make it, I guarantee you something's going to fall into your lap. I mean, I never thought
yeah.
I'd be doing this. I wanted to be a comic book artist or a painter or something. And
Wow,
here I
wow,
am. And I love
wow.
this. I absolutely love doing this. And
Yeah,
I actually can't see myself doing anything else but this.
yeah. I love that. No, no, that's perfect. Yeah, but that's it. Also shows the different sides of you. Because I mean, this uh, what we're producing is art. And we're creating it. Yeah, I had a great conversation with David Espinosa. So again, the writer director um, of Demon Fighter, and he goes, we were put on this earth to create from the very beginning, because we create life,
Yep.
and we're here to create things, And I love the way, because I've heard it maybe put in different ways, but I really love the way he had expressed it, and I was going, yeah, absolutely, absolutely, and that's what we're here to do. And some people like it, some people don't. Mixed bag, doesn't matter.
I love the relationships that I'm making doing this too. All the friends that
Yeah,
I've made along the way,
yeah,
and they're not necessarily famous people. I mean, it's life coaches and people
yeah.
trying to start out in their business. They don't have to be famous to,
No,
to
no.
have, as long as they're positive, they're part of my circle, you know.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
love it.
exactly. No, yeah, no, I'm right there with you, brother. It just, and you're part of that. I couldn't wait to get back on your show. I
Oh,
couldn't
thanks,
wait.
man.
I could, because I was talking to Craig and David, and they had proposed the idea of um, you know doing X amount of interviews, and they had approached me and said, would you be willing uh, to spare some time and do some interviews? And I said, absolutely. And right away I say, hey, how about Kyle? Let's go with our coyote. You know, let's, yeah, it sounds like a good idea. We'll call him and we'll contact him. So, right away I wanted to be on your show.
Thanks, man. Really.
Yeah.
That's humbling in itself right there.
Yeah. So
Gonna make me
no, it's
blush.
great. I see a little red tone there. But how's the weather over in Texas?
Hotter than Hades.
Yeah.
Today I think the high was supposed to be 105. We've been averaging
Wow.
around 102.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's hot over there. Hey, buddy, I will be heading to Texas hopefully soon again.
Sweet.
Uh, because I gotta meet up with you. I
Definitely.
definitely gotta meet up. So I've got I have a uh I was asked to be an MC at a my goodness it's like a fashion show, and it's a wonderful program, and I wish I had all the details in my brain, so I do apologize for that. But
That's okay.
uh,
Let me know.
yeah, it's a fashion show that um, is going towards the benefit of autism awareness,
Oh, nice.
and all of the models are autistic.
Wow.
Yes, and so they had approached me and asked if I would be a master's of ceremony, and I'm just absolutely honored. I work with a lot of our students are autistic, anywhere from just on the spectrum to highly impacted, and everything in between, and I just it's been a great educational experience for me to work with individuals that are so ridiculously intelligent, ridiculously
Yeah.
intelligent, and to reach and produce a smile, and just and just an overall good experience. And we do it daily. We do it daily at the school, and but to be a part of that, for an event, just I'm just really happy about that. So
Wow.
I'll be in the, I believe, Austin area. So
Sweet. Right down the
so
road. I'm 20
so
minutes
so
from Austin.
that's great, buddy. So I'll let you know, and we'll have to meet up at some point. You
So,
got you got you got good barbecue over there?
oh man, I can take you to some great places. And it'd be easy to find where I live because
Uh,
I live in Kyle, Texas. So
ah, are you serious?
I do. I live in Kyle, Texas.
All right. I'll try, I'll try not to forget that.
That's how arrogant I am. I live in a town named after me.
Exactly right. I love that, brother. I love that. That's so cool.
Wow.
That's
So
excellent.
they aren't looking for kid models there, are they? Because my grandson, my middle grandson's autistic.
You know what? Let me send you the information and the contact. I'll do that, afterwards, and because my goodness, they did some auditions for it recently.
Oh,
Uh, but I'm sure they'd be open to whatever. I'm sure they would.
I could pass that
That'd be
on to my daughter. That'd be
yeah,
great.
that'd be fantastic, brother. That'd be fantastic.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
so
let
definitely, yeah,
definitely
I'll
let me
give you the
know.
info. I'll give you the info. I'll give you the info, and yeah, that would be excellent, brother.
Now you do work with children. Don't you have a website that people can go to?
Yeah, my business website is ko kung fu. That's kung fu .com. And yeah, we've had a school, in California. We work with everybody. I mean, everybody from, our youngest student's like 3 years old. The oldest student I've ever taught was like 91.
Wow. That's
Yeah,
pretty freaking cool.
yeah. Oh, let me tell you, that was amazing. Um, and everything in between. And this is the part that breaks my heart. We have students that have come into our school that have told stories that they were rejected by other schools
Oh man, come
uh,
on.
because they are challenged, whether it be autism, whether it be cerebral palsy. It didn't matter they used it as excuses to, well, if you can't, sit still, you can't learn. If you can't pay attention, you can't learn. If you can't, walk in your own 2 feet, you can't learn. I'm thinking, my goodness, you got to be kidding. And we've always been a school that is privileged to teach anybody. It's an honor to teach. And I've been doing this for, like I said, over 40 years. So yeah, I still feel just as passionate about it now than I ever have before.
You know, you treat everyone the same. And
Yeah,
so what if they have a, a
doesn't
disability?
that matter?
It does
Yeah,
not matter. My wife's cousin Sager, he has a mental handicap, but we don't treat him any different than I would anybody else in the family. I mean, we give him hell just like we would anybody else,
exactly right. There we go.
and
There we go. Exactly.
he appreciates that. He wants to be treated like everybody else. He doesn't want to be left
Abs-
out. 'Cause, I mean,
Absolutely.
when I first met
Absolutely.
him, my wife was talking to him the way she did. I'm like, God, that was kind of mean, but just like, well, that's how we play. And I'm like, well, so I do the same thing, and he loves it. So
Yeah. No, I mean that's great. No, I love that because no, I mean you treat people like people,
that's
and
all they
and
want.
that's all we are. Just again, kindness and respect and joke around. There's nothing wrong with just, joking around and making fun light of a subject or light of one another, what they're wearing or whatever. Do it to me, I'll do it back at you, we'll have fun with it. We'll enjoy.
That's how I knew people really liked me, was when they gave me a hard time. It's the ones that didn't talk
Yeah.
to me that I knew they didn't care for me.
Exactly right. Exactly right.
Man, John, we could go on for a couple of hours,
I know,
honestly.
brother. I know. I know we're reaching our end. Yeah, we always have to come. This is the saddest part of this whole show
Oh,
is here.
so is there any other websites or social media that you
You
want to
know,
mention?
you know what? Just whether it be Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, it's all just my name, John Ozuna, Ozuna. They can reach me there. Yeah, just that way they can see the next projects I have coming out. I've got a few lined up here, and I'm really excited about what's to come. And you know, David Espinosa, Craig, Aaron's. We're talking about the next project for my character, Father Michael, in another film. So we have
Oh,
this.
wow.
Oh yeah, yeah. So um,
I want the exclusive.
it's yeah, absolutely, buddy, absolutely. So it's in a talking phase right now. They're excited about it. I'm really excited about it. We're building a really great story around this character's next adventure, and so really excited about that.
Freaking sweet. And uh, Craig and David, they have a website too. Was it CRA Entertainment?
Yeah, exactly. I believe it's CRA Entertainment. I want to say .com. I could be wrong, but if they just look up CRA Entertainment, then the website will come up, and they can do that also through all of social medias. So yeah,
Well, I'll get all of
great find.
the. I'm sorry, I get all the links and I'll put them in the description so people can just click on it and go to it and then make it easier.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
So you're traveling tomorrow?
Yeah, I am. So I'm heading over to my goodness, my schedule. My team from the school is competing in a national tournament. So we do this once a year, every year in Baltimore, Maryland. But very, very coincidentally, on Friday of this week, I start day one filming on my next project. It's a project called Drug Hunter. I play a character called Razor, and it's kind of an action adventure movie that has to do with a kind of like the A-Team sort of scenario.
Okay.
So I play kind of one of those members, not Mr. T, but
Are you Face?
yeah, well, I think they haven't going that direction, but kind of battling against the drug lord situation, and everything connected to it. It has to do with a gentleman whose son was killed by those that have been pushing drugs, selling drugs in the drug industry, and the A-Team's going to go after him. So we start filming this Friday, and we film for 5 weeks, and I'm kind of on and off within those 5 weeks, and then I've got another film coming out. The Bouncer comes out in about a couple of months, which I filmed in Romania. That one I went all the way to Romania to film that one. Same thing, action adventure. I play the lead role in this one. I'm a martial arts trained kind of a Navy SEAL sort of guy that escapes the United States, goes to Romania because out of self-defense he kills somebody in the United States, but he's he's trying to save somebody who's being killed by them, and he ends up killing that person, and he's having to escape. So he leaves to Romania, but to find a whole other situation there where he's trying to save somebody, and then the adventure and the action ensues after that.
Sweet.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to all of it, man. Honestly.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. But just check out Demon Fighter. Demon Fighter, let me tell you, they knocked it out of the park on this one. CRA Entertainment, David Espinosa, Craig Aarons, they are the masterminds behind this project. I'm just privileged and honored to be a part of it. And try to catch it, buddy.
I'm definitely going to do that. And if I don't like it, I know how to get a hold of Craig and David. They can give me my money back.
yeah, exactly right. Exactly. Refund. Excellent, brother.
I can't thank you enough for your time, man. I appreciate your friendship. Everything you do. I wish the best for you. Blessings for you and your family.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. Same back.
You genuinely deserve it. You're a wonderful human being, and
thank you, brother.
I can't praise you enough, especially for what you do for the kids.
Yeah, so. I mean, that's gonna be a lifelong pursuit for me. That will always be there.
Again, thank you. I want to thank everyone that stopped by. If you are new to the channel, I hope that you will hit that subscribe button and please come back. For those of you who are regular, I can't thank you enough for your support. It's because of you that we do what we do and we are where we are. So until the next one, everyone, please take care. Be kind to one another. God bless and peace.
Take care, brother.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of Listen to the Vibes. You can catch us on Buzzsprout or wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts, and on YouTube. Follow us on Facebook at The Vibes Broadcast Network